All right, I want you to picture this. It's late, really late. You've got this old, quiet, antique toy store. Everything's just shadows. The only person there, the shopkeeper, who's just about to lock up. All of a sudden, this cold draft just creeps through the room, and out of the corner of his eye, he spots it. A little furry doll with this super creepy smile. He hears a whisper, but it's not in any language he knows. He just freezes, staring at this doll, and there's only one question racing through his mind. Yeah, that chilling story, it's been going absolutely viral online. And it's all about this, the Labubu doll. Now, at a quick glance, sure, it's just a toy. But if you really look at it, you start to see why it's become this global obsession and why it's wrapped up in this really dark mystery. So what is actually going on here? Let's dig in. Okay, so the very first thing you need to understand about Labubu is the conspiracy theory. Online people are making these wild claims that it's way more than just a simple toy. They're even comparing it to, the infamous Annabelle doll. The big theory? That it's actually a modern version of an ancient Mesopotamian demon named Pazuzu. So take a look at what we've got here. On one side, you see the doll itself, and you gotta notice the features, right? The pointy ears, that kind of mischievous, toothy grin. It's a long way from your average teddy bear, isn't it? But then you look at the other side, and this is where the whole conspiracy really kicks in. The idea is that these aren't just some quirky design choices. No, they're supposed to be symbols of an ancient evil that you're literally inviting into your house. Okay, so if this doll is supposedly some ancient demon, you'd think people would be, running for the hills, right? Well, what's actually happening is the complete opposite. There is a massive global craze. People are desperate, desperate to get their hands on one. And this is where our story starts to get really weird. Just to give you a sense of the absolute madness here, get this. A single Labubu doll has reportedly sold for as much as 1 crore rupees on the black market. That's, over 100,000 US dollars for a toy. We're talking about people waiting in these enormous lines at malls for hours and hours just for the chance to buy one. So what on earth is going on? So how did we even get to this point? The character itself isn't new at all. It was actually created way back in 2015. So what was the tipping point? The answer is actually pretty simple. A single photo. In April of 2024, the K-pop superstar Lisa from Blackpink, she posts a picture holding a Labu. Now you have to understand, for her hundreds of millions of fans, this isn't just a photo. It's a signal. It's powerful social proof. And just like that, boom, the fuse was lit. The doll went from being just a toy to a cultural icon, an absolute must-have. And really, this is just a textbook example of a perfect storm. You've got the celebrity endorsement, that's the trigger. That fuels millions of viral unboxing videos. That, in turn, creates this insane demand, which leads to the product being constantly out of stock. And that scarcity, it just drives people into a frenzy, right? You see the massive lines at stores, and that creates this booming black market. It's a hype cycle that just feeds on itself over and over again. Okay, so let's recap. On one hand, you've got this spooky, demonic conspiracy, and on the other, a massive global craze. It's a paradox, right? It doesn't really add up until you start connecting the dots. So I think it's time we pull back the curtain and reveal the real evil that's at play here. So after all of that, it all comes down to this one question. Is there some supernatural force behind this doll's unsettling look and its incredible pull on people? Is it really a vessel for some ancient demon? Well, the answer is yes. This doll is evil, but not in the way the conspiracy theorists are saying. It's not some supernatural demon from an old story. No, it's a marketing demon. It's a brilliantly engineered plan that's designed to go after 3 very specific things: your attention, your curiosity, and, ultimately your money. So there's no ancient curse here, just a very, very modern and incredibly effective master plan. So let's actually break down the anatomy of this marketing machine and see exactly how it managed to trap millions of people. Look, this didn't happen by accident. It's a meticulously crafted 4-step master plan. Step 1, you light a spark with a celebrity post. That creates instant desire. Step 2, the gamble. The blind box model turns every single purchase into a little dopamine hit and, more importantly, a potential viral video. Step 3, you weaponize our own psychology. You intentionally limit the supply, creating this powerful feeling of scarcity and massive FOMO. That's fear of missing out. And finally, step 4. The black market frenzy acts as the ultimate free advertising, turning a simple doll into what seems like a priceless treasure. And here's where it gets really interesting. The company behind all of this, Pop Mart, is based in China. But get this, in their own country, there's actually a law that prevents kids from buying these blind box toys without a parent's permission. Just think about that for a second. It's almost like they know this level of hype is a kind of sickness, right? A psychological weak spot, and they're taking steps to protect their own kids from it while happily exporting the frenzy to the rest of us. Now, let's be clear, this isn't just about one creepy doll. The Labubu is really just the perfect case study for a much, much bigger strategy. And once you learn to see the playbook, I promise you're going to start recognizing this marketing demon absolutely everywhere. This is what we're talking about, hype marketing. It's a strategy that's not about selling you something useful. It's about making you feel like you have to be part of a cultural moment. You're not actually buying it all. You're buying into the mystery, the exclusivity, the social status that comes with it. You're buying the story. And trust me, this is not a new playbook. We have seen this used over and over again. Remember the whole Prime drink craze? The product itself was basically sugar water, but the story was about being part of the community for these two huge influencers. Or how about the fidget spinner? Just a simple piece of plastic that became a billion-dollar industry overnight. Why? Not because it was useful, but because of a viral trend that made you feel left out if you didn't have one. Heck, even the yearly pressure to get the new phone model uses the exact same tactics. It manufactures FOMO and ties your social status to having the latest gadget. So here's the bottom line, the most important takeaway. With products like these, you're not the customer, you're the target. The entire goal is to capture your curiosity and turn it into their money. The product itself, it's almost beside the point. So how do you spot it in the wild? Well, you have to look for the emotional triggers. Ask yourself, are they selling me a function or are they selling me a feeling? A feeling of inclusion, of status, of not being left behind? That's the telltale sign. So I'm going to leave you with this one thought. The next time you see a trend just explode out of nowhere, you know the type. It's backed by celebrities, it's always sold out. Just stop and ask yourself, am I buying the product or am I buying into the hype? Because once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. So the question is, will you get swept up in the frenzy or will you be the one who sees the plan behind the product?